Hi everybody, welcome back. Before I jump straight to the problem, I want to remind you of the free resources that I have. Number one, I have a guide named How to Evaluate Your Education in United States of America. Number two, another guide about shear moment diagram, which has a solved example and then a few examples that I have collected from various FU materials. If this sounds something that you might need, click the links below and you'll be able to download them for free. Now let's move on with our example. Three forces act as shown below. The magnitude of the resultant of the three forces is most nearly. We have a 15-degree angle. So F1x, it's opposite to the angle of 15. You do sine of 15 equals to the opposite catheta, which is F1x over hypotenusa. In our case is 100 Newton. And in order to solve the F1y, we'll do cosine of 15 equals 2. It is the near catheta, which is F1y over hypotenusa, again 100 Newton. And from these two equations, we solve for F1x and F1y. So F1x equals to 100 newtons times sine 15 equals. Another thing I want to point out, I don't want to make a mistake here. So remember, look here, x is going to be pointing in this direction, and we have the positive direction on the right, meaning my force, the x force, is going to be negative. So let's put negative in front. And now 15 sine times 100, I get 2588 newtons, and F1y equals to 100 newtons times cosine 15 equals. So first, let's talk about the sign. The positive sign goes upward and my force also goes upward. So I'm going to have a positive force, and I have 15 cosine 100 multiply, getting 9659 newtons. 9659 newtons. Great. Now let's go to force number two. I will go ahead and write here F2x equals 2. Now force number two, I don't have an angle, but it's giving me this ratio here. Every time you're giving a ratio like that, you have to calculate for the unknown hypotenusa. In this case, you have the very well-known ratio. So if in a right triangle, one catheta is 3 and the other one is 4, that means that my hypotenusa is 5. But if you're given a different ratio, just use the Pythagoras and calculate the hypotenusa. So in order to calculate the x component, we take the x component from this triangle, right, 4, divided by hypotenusa, multiplied by 300 equals. And then in order to solve for the y component, you'll take 3 over 4 multiplied by 300. And in both cases, our resultant force is going to have a positive direction for y and for x. So our both forces are going to be positive. Let's solve F2x, 4, 5 divided 300 multiply 240 newtons. And this is something that you'll definitely get at the exam. So make sure you know how to solve when you have when you're given angles or when you're given this ratio. So I get 240 and F2Y 5 divided 300 multiply 180 newtons. Okay, now force number 3, I'll get F3x equals, the force goes straight downward on the y direction, so my x component is going to be 0. F3y, it's going to be minus, because it's going downwards, 200 newtons. Perfect. So now we have each component, x and y component for each force. So what we're going to do next, in order to calculate the resultant, we're going to calculate the sum of the x components. So fx, we'll do f1x plus f2x plus f3x equals, and I have minus 2588 plus 240 plus 0 equals, let's see, 2588 minus 240 plus f, so the x resultant is 214.12 newtons. Same way, we're going to calculate the Fy, which is going to be F1y plus F2y plus F3y equals 96.59 plus 180 plus, and we do minus 200 equals. And here, let's go ahead, 96.59. I'm going to quickly do this on my calculator. 100 minus. So I get 76.59. Newtons. Perfect. And now the resultant is equal to square root of fx squared plus fy squared equals 2. This is just, I draw this line too long, so I just was closing it here. I don't want you to get confused. So let's replace what we know. We have 214 12 squared plus 76.59 squared equals. And once you calculate all this, you should get 227.4. That's it for today. It was not a complicated problem at all. If you have any questions about this problem, don't forget to leave it in the comment section below. If you found this video helpful, please give it a like and subscribe, because this helps people like you find me. Keep up the good work on practicing the FE problems, and I will see you next week.